Hold up, wait a minute. If you don't know, you better find out. It is what episode is this? 63 of the DZN Podcast. This is our different setup today. We at AMI Studios in the building. I know it may look a little weird or different, but that's okay. Change is always good in life. However, I have two guests in the building, but first, my name is Dre, the host of the DZN Podcast, along with two of my guests in the building. State your names for yourselves, peoples.
My name is Miles Carter. I go to William Peace University, and I'm a graphic design major.
Yo, Sijade, William Peace University, psych major.
Okay. All right, but not further ado, how we always start this is we get straight to the music. But before that, if you want to follow us on all podcasting platforms, DZN Podcast everywhere, DZN Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, DZN Podcast Network, and wherever you find us on podcasting platforms, DZN Podcast. And if you want to follow DZN Podcast on Instagram, it's d.z.n.podcast. And if you want to follow me, RETRO.D.R.E. and Zoe Young _ Pluto 08 and Nas at NV.Z _. But all right though, let's get to the music. It's the DZN Podcast. Just my mic.
Hey Dre,
However, what's going on with y'all, man? How y'all doing? Y'all good?
Staying black. That's what grandpa
hey,
used to say.
hey, man. I'm good. I'm living. This trying to stay out the way of this COVID stuff for real. But now, yeah, life's been pretty good. I just got back to Raleigh. From Greensboro. So, it's been good so far.
I'm doing well, brother. Due to the circumstances that we have today in this world, I think I'm doing well.
Shoot,
Okay. All right. So, before we get to it, do y'all have any questions for me?
how are you?
How are you doing?
Yeah, how are you, bro?
What's happening,
Like I
bro?
said, I'm living good for the most part, man. I'm living good, living great, just doing the best I can, man. Keep my mind strong and my head stronger.
That's all.
That's all you can do, bro. Like right in today's time, that's all we can do.
That's all you can ask for.
So, do y'all have any specific questions for me, first off, before we get to what topics today?
Oh, well, I was about to ask you a topic question, but
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I mean, big thing in the news. How do you feel about the whole Capitol situation?
Oh, man, like I keep saying to everybody else who asks me, niggas still gonna be niggas regardless.
Oh, but dude, that is that's crazy. It is so crazy.
Is it crazy, though?
I mean, it's I'm gonna be honest. In today's time, it was expected. It was expected, but it's just I've never, nobody has really seen something like that. Like that put a dent in our democracy. I would be honest with you.
Is it truly a democracy, or is that just it in plain
Well, we
by
know-
name only?
Nah, that's a
You know,
good question.
It's by name, we call it a democracy because we don't want our country to be seen like tyrant countries
Yes.
such as South Korea and stuff like that. We know we're really a Republican country, but we try to put it as a democracy, if that makes sense.
Okay. So, growing up, how did y'all feel about? So let me circle back to y'all childhood, I guess.
All right.
Growing up, how did y'all feel about the world y'all were living in, or how did y'all see it as a youth compared to now?
I could say this, me, I could say I was a sheltered kid. I think all of us were. Could you say all of us
Yeah.
were? At the age of 15, that's when I really started to see stuff for what it was. Actually, I wanted to expose myself to that. I didn't want to become sheltered my whole life and not know what was going on. Because in the when you get in this real world, in the real world, you're gonna have to know some things that you don't want to know. So yeah, from my childhood to now, it's changed differently. It's changed my mindset as well. So yeah, it's changed a lot.
I think with time, I just think, growing up, I was somewhat sheltered, and I was so used to what was going on. I was so worried about what was going on in my life that I didn't have time. Well, I didn't choose to reflect on what was going on in the world. One day, I remember getting out the car to go to school, and I was like, yo, the leaves are falling off the trees. That's how much, sometimes I was so into my own issues and what was going on and my selfishness, I didn't take the time out to look around the world. But now, going into college, seeing different people and stuff like that, I realized the world is much more of a jack-up pace.
Yeah, I think
I thought it was.
I think when that, I'm gonna be honest, 2020 exposed a lot.
Yes.
That exposed a lot of stuff.
Yes, it did.
And I had a conversation with my mom, and we were talking about. I said, this world is getting crazy. The thing she said to me, she said, it's always been crazy. You're just starting to see it now. And that kind of I can say it I was like, is she right? Was it it felt like everything that was swept under the rug just came back up and popped right back up. Could y'all agree on that?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Or was it even swept under the rug to begin with?
Yeah.
Besides for the obvious things like historical stuff, but
What do you think, brother? Because
Yeah.
it looks like you have an idea going on.
Yeah, I gotta hear Dre's wisdom.
So what do you mean? What do I think about what topic specifically?
The question you asked, what would you give yourself an answer to?
As far as how I viewed it as a youth to now,
Yes. Or has it always been the same?
no, it hasn't always been the same.
Okay.
Because I was growing up, I wasn't sheltered, but I wasn't able to go to certain places because of your parents are always gonna try to protect you for the most part if they're around anyway.
Yeah.
They're gonna always try to protect you from the unknown of what they might have experienced because of what they have gone through or what they haven't have gone through. But the only way to live life, you got to experience it.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you got to go through certain environments and certain situations to learn how the world really is, and it's gonna shape you, how you gonna be as well, so you can be prepared. Because cutthroat people are everywhere.
Yeah.
They're gonna be in the street, in your home, in your family, in your business, in your church. Don't matter where you go, it's always gonna be somebody cutthroat.
Can I put that on a damn shirt?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
hey, preach that. Hey, preach that, bro. Because, hey, like, I'm be honest. I'm be honest, dude. Like I said, a lot of people got exposed. Like,
Can we just go back to what he said? Cutthroat people
cutthroat
are
people?
everywhere.
Yes.
In your family, in the church. I don't think people realize that, though. I'm going to be honest with you.
Hey, sometimes they're blinded. Like, they just want to be blinded and not notice what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hold the open door slowly. Open it slowly. If you're gonna open it, slowly, or go down the other side, either or.
Yeah, I think
Sure
he's on
way.
the other side. Yeah.
Got you. Zoe has just arrived for anybody who knows, trying to know what's going on right now, and yeah.
It's the boogeyman.
Right.
But basically,
Well, where is he? Oh,
is he,
okay.
where is he? Is he back there?
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Might have went to the bathroom or something. Okay.
What a stranger.
All right. Fair enough. Hold on.
It's a nice home, man.
Like I said, man, timing.
Oh, give me some money.
Right,
Give me some
at that time, man. You know what it is. The boy been grinding.
Timing, hard work, just pacing yourself.
Yeah.
Hey,
Not spending too much in one place for the most part, knowing where to say profit margins and such, you know, and knowing where to try to know where to invest in. And just but still learning all the way.
Yeah,
All right, so basically, just to kind of round it up, pretty much you have to go through things and experience from people and backgrounds and at different types of areas of what you're doing and how it's going to mold you as a person. And pretty much just kind of, from me being sheltered from a little bit as well as just having to go through different experiences and realize that people are going to be people everywhere. That means they're going to be good, bad, and different people everywhere, every step of the way. So just knowing that and kind of getting knowledge from older adults and other people that may have been through and learning what to do and what not to do. And that's pretty much kind of frames you. Now, that's kind of just a short answer of it, but pretty much don't expect what you wouldn't expect from yourself.
Ooh,
That's
a word.
Don't let other people have the ability to let you down, because they will every time.
That's right.
Don't idolize nobody. Don't give too much faith or worship or credit anybody who really doesn't need it or deserves it. And the main reason I say don't idolize people is because some reason people have a lot of hard time with idolizing and then being let down by other people that they don't even know. Like celebrities or people of notice notoriety, or even some people that they may know or really be close to.
Yeah.
Never idolize anybody. Because you're always going to be let down no matter what. Because they're always going to do something that you may not agree with or like. And you never will be able to agree with everybody anyway.
That is true.
So, thoughts? So,
Hey, dog.
Growing up and being it from kid versus how I feel about life now.
pretty much, yeah.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, it's like you kind of live in a perfect world if you were sheltered like I was, and it's like you don't see anything like that's negative around you, and then you think of grown-ups as like the idols and the people we look up to, and when you get older, you slowly realize they just as fucked up as the kids. Like they're all petty. They all got.
Hell yeah.
Not even going
Yeah, keep preaching that, brother. Keep preaching that.
Like that hit me the first time I got picked on by it was someone outside. I was used to getting picked on in my family, and it's like this and this, because I knew they loved me. You know what I'm saying? But then when I got picked on by like someone else's parent, I was like,
Damn.
you're a
Within
grown
the
up?
family,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
or was it within the family or a friend?
It was a friend.
And he was like,
And it wasn't anything crazy. It's just like something I didn't expect from a
grown up.
Yeah,
Kind of.
yeah.
I get what you mean on that. I think for me, I didn't realize how dysfunctional or so have the world is, and possibly my family, until I got out to college and saw different people, and also I got to a chance to experience other families. Because growing up, I kind of was told that all families has their issues. So that for me kind of deflected. Well, I guess all families are like this. It didn't hold any accountability. I wasn't able to hold accountability towards the adults and my own family members. So it took me to take a psych course on abnormal behaviors and stuff like that. And I realized, parents and even, grandparents, they raise us throughout their traumas.
I mean, I think, our parents are our parents, like you say. Like, we look at them as good people, but remember, they're people too. They, it's just, yeah, it just gets crazy, bro. Like, sometimes, your parents will say something to you that you think they would never say in their life. And it's like, I mean, I think we've all been through that. I can't speak for everybody, but, I have. I was like, hey, like at a young age too, you're like, hey, I thought my mom or dad would never say this to me because they're my mom or dad. But, I mean, I looked at it at a different perspective, and I just say, they're people too. Like, but I don't think that's right to, like, still treat anybody any less,
But still, you got to remember, though, like you said, they are people, too.
Yeah.
And at certain times, they're not going to always be their best.
Yeah, yeah.
And they may act, quote-unquote, out of character or out of your perception of their character of being Superman or woman, even though just because they've been birthed from it. That don't mean they super.
Yeah.
They are people.
And
not saying you're not supposed to care about them, not saying you're not supposed to love them, but they're still going to be people doing people things as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
That was the toughest thing to realize.
Yeah, exactly. That was a hard thing to realize. Like, the people that you love the most can, like, hurt you the most. Like, just by some of the little things they say.
Because they know you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Oof.
Okay.
Hey, Dre.
That dude's on fire.
Because they know you.
Yes, they know me.
They know.
So you saying that family, especially adults, family members, they do things to hurt you because they know that'll hurt you?
Some you got to remember, depends on how old your parents are. They come from way different eras. Or maybe it depends on, especially nowadays with more babies popping on left and right, younger, very close in eras.
Yeah.
So they have a different perspective on life than you will ever have. And you may know some things, and you may try to put them on to some things that they couldn't teach you because they just didn't know.
But I think sometimes, I know for me, like, I don't know, but sometimes that was hard to accept. Like, but I mean, of course you had to, but that was, at one point, it was hard for me to accept that. I could be honest with you.
It's always going to be because that those you love them. That's part of you.
Yeah.
You have their DNA. Their DNA made you.
Yes.
So it's always going to be hard when the people that made you, it's just like they do some things or they may not seem like you thought they were when you was little. It's like, damn, I thought y'all was like top of the top, but y'all
right.
like regular.
Right.
But still love y'all.
Yeah.
But I understand sometimes that may have to be from a distance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
I get that feeling. I'm from Jersey. I did not go home
Yeah.
this winter break. I stayed at my apartment, so I understand that for real.
Yeah.
Because in order for you to grow, you got to get away.
Yeah.
To your highest potential, you got to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah. Oof.
Yep.
Like with this type of stuff, I've always been in a weird spot because I have a weird family type situation. my mom is old school. Like, so when you talk about eras, it's like her mother wasn't. Our mothers now most of them try to nurture you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
back then, it was if you get tough love. You never hear your parents say they love you back then.
Yeah.
We got whoopings. They got beatings
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
How old is your mother?
I can't tell you.
Okay, that was because it's a different. I think a lot of times, my mom is younger than a lot of my friends' mom. I could say my mom's 44, but the thing is, how I find a lot of times is different depending on the age of how your mom brought you up, how she was brought up. Because even though my mom got some beating, she didn't get. She was there. A lot of people say my mom and my aunts compared to her friends were, how do I put it? They had the good life. They got beatings for what they did wrong, but they didn't get whoopings. She was fortunate enough to have two parents in the household. Both of them were educators, my grandparents. But the thing is that my mom and my aunts talk about, they never got that, they feel that love from their mom. Like, it was always kind of like a toughness. Like, my grandma didn't really talk about her feelings or anything like that. My grandpa was the one of the emotional one, talk about your feelings, say how you're doing. But I find, sometimes I sat down and I try to understand where my grandma came from. She came from a single parent household. Her dad was an alcoholic. Her mom raised her while also helping with my great aunt during that time. So it helps to understand where they came from and understand why they are the reason they are today.
Yes.
So, yeah. Right.
If you're able to know where they came from.
Mm.
As far as trying to want to do historical research down your family tree, that may be difficult because they may not remember their childhood.
Mm.
Yeah.
So if y'all, whoever wants to learn their actual family history, if y'all have older parents on either side, just sit down and ask them, how was y'all growing up? Where did y'all come from?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to try to get a glimpse of where you might have came from, at least from that perspective.
Some parents, some people, some adults don't want to look back.
Yeah.
That's what I find. Like, I asked my dad, my grandfather, I have two grandfathers. I have a grandfather and a step-grandfather. I wasn't close with my biological grandfather. I was close to my step-grandfather. My grandma got remarried. I would ask him about his father, and he'll be like, oh, he was a good man. But he would never tell stories. Like, I don't know how he grew up. And I think some people his kind of mindset is, I'm moving forward. I don't feel like talking about the past.
Too much trauma.
Mm.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like bringing up their trauma stories, at least on a public forum anyway, or in general, because it's so much baggage.
Yeah.
Just to think that's what some people had to go through growing up. Some people woke up and didn't eat for like a week. Some people had sugar sandwiches, syrup sandwiches, straight bread.
Yeah.
Or, they couldn't afford hot dog bread, so they had regular flat white bread to make hot dog sandwiches out of.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So some people literally slept on the floor all night.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad, remember him telling me this story, where he lived he lived with both of his parents. But, there was some things going on in there that wasn't that wouldn't be good for a child as today's world. But, he had where he had to use the bathroom, dude. He had to shit and piss in a bucket, go dump it in the field. He didn't have the fortune of getting a daggum toilet or something. So, I mean, when I would try to ask him or something, the same thing. He wouldn't really open up about it. Because, I guess that was at a point where he was at his weakest moment. But, yeah. So, I think all of us, we're fortunate to have everything that we do have because of them. But, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because obviously, from what they went through, they knew how to at least try to raise their future family. So we didn't have to go through that. But now, unfortunately, we have a different fight that we have to come across, which is the mental wars. Because it's not for the most part, how they grew up for the most part was, even though it was both, it was mostly what they think about anyway is physical wars,
Yeah.
like food, shelter, economics, hydration, hygiene. Now it's kind of like, for the most part, I ain't gonna say most, some people have a nice, comfortable-ish way of living,
Yeah.
but the other side still living in that era of as well. But now you have the intensified mental wars with the COVID, with the constant, with the elections, with the news programming, with the media programming, with the college program, with the education programming. So it's more, you have to literally get with the mental health stuff, the social media.
Yes.
You think you can't even go outside and try to have a fight with somebody, or you might be on, as they used to say, World Star, or now you're gonna be on IG Live or something. So you got all this other stuff you have to think about that they never had to think about. So now we're in the era of the mental wars.
Yeah.
So now we got to learn how to guard our brains, which maybe our people before us didn't have a great job passing that on. But now we have to just take what we can from different sources and different outlets of people and try to put it on our brains so we can hopefully pass it on to our kids and gear them up mentally and physically so they can be the best that they can be.
And we don't know what type of war they're going to face. They might be facing the same war that we do, or that we have.
But at least we know how to guard them up.
Yeah.
I think the problem with our generation is we don't like to listen. I think
Before you finish, it'll be, I understand where you're about to go, but before you go, I got to let you know this. We will be more susceptible to listen if they passed on the knowledge and they wasn't afraid to pass on. Or not even afraid that they knew or didn't know. Because before you go down the road of we don't listen, we didn't listen, we may not listen, but who are we trying to listen to? And what are the information did they provide? Because you have a lot of the older generation, I ain't going to say all, but I say somewhere a lot, that love to talk shit about the young people, but they never embrace them.
Yeah.
that's true
And,
too.
and those are the ones that always be the ones that are never embraced. Those be the ones that are the worst because all they want to do is be embraced
Yeah.
by the ones before them. Like the superhero movies. The villains always be the one that love the superhero.
Yeah.
That's true too. Well, I guess since we can only talk from our own experiences and perspectives, and so my experience was growing up. I can only speak for myself. So I grew up a sensitive child, and it was some of the things were hard, hearing from my grandmother because my grandmother's a kind of tell the truth person. She doesn't sugarcoat anything. And I remember I was talking to my grandpa about it, and my grandpa was saying, a lot of the stuff that the older folks are saying is true. The problem is you guys don't want to hear it. And I had to look at the point where, he was telling me sometimes you just got to forget how the message is being delivered and listen to the message. Sometimes you got to take your feelings out of what somebody's trying to tell you.
You got to take it professionally, not personally.
Exactly.
And I think I can say I've struggled with that. I'd rather have my feelings and not listen.
Because
when
not
it comes to
all
that.
the time in life, nobody's going to tell you something the way you want to hear it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of times the older folks not going to change how they
Yeah.
say their message because they receive the same message. And in some ways, it worked for them.
Yeah.
Bruh, it did. I'm telling you, that tough love works if you want performance. Like if you want the top performance, you need that.
Yeah.
You think LeBron is cuddling these niggas after they?
Hell no.
You need to be hard.
Motherfucker be like, you don't score 20, you off this team.
you gotta deliver it in a way where, because if not, who's gonna listen to? Oh, you're good at this, but you just don't do this. They're just gonna be like, oh, I'm good at something. I'm cool. I don't need to do that. You have to be real with these niggas. I'm talking about real.
You gotta tell these niggas they trash. Man.
Yeah, what was it? I think he's a motivational speaker. Have y'all heard David Goggins?
Nah.
He's a Navy SEAL, man. And he tell you tough love. He'll tell you straight.
Yes.
He'll tell you straight. There was one interview. He said, he was called fat. He was called, the N word. He was called the F word. All that, and he just had to get through it. That actually motivated him to be where he was at, or to where he was getting at. So, yeah, man. That tough love, man, that make you go far away.
Yes. Like, look at people who have a military background. They took criticism to having your shoes tied a certain way.
Yes.
When you are that, your eyes get opened up to that point, and you're like, you've been beaten down that much. You're literally focusing on every little thing. Your brain is heightened. Like you're so scared. Like you're in fight or flight 99 or 100% of the time.
Yes.
That's why those people succeed. It's like if you want to succeed, you want to hear tough love. But if you're okay, like, and there's nothing but wrong with, like, if you just want to stay mediocre, then yeah, you want to be coddled all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But what did you mean though about the older generation kind of? I don't know if you said shitting on the younger ones on the.
Well, it's true. It's a fact. They do shit on them without understanding and hearing them out. One, but two, they don't share it. They don't share information like that either. Not all.
I got it, but
Yeah.
I know some people who didn't
Yes,
get
I
it.
know
But
what you-
Yeah.
it's a like it's kind of
I
a.
get what you're coming.
Yeah.
There's a section of people that love to keep secrets
Yeah. Okay.
that don't need to be
Yeah.
keeping
Yeah.
secrets.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. All right. Now I see what.
And they don't share valuable information
Yeah.
so the other people can go on to do their thing because they maybe get afraid to get passed up.
It's like selfishness. They'll have
Or
selfish with it.
They just don't want to have it, so they want to be in the dark.
Oof.
And everybody can't learn the same way.
Yeah.
Everybody are not going to be able to look for it and find it. Some people have to be led and
Yeah.
kind of coddled along the way. Some people need that.
Yeah.
Everybody isn't susceptible to tough love.
Yeah.
Because tough love can make somebody kill themselves.
Yeah.
Tough love can make somebody want to kill the person that's giving it to them.
Yeah.
And tough love can make them succeed. So you got some people you got to coddle. Some people you have to give them tough love to.
Yeah.
But not every leader is not going to always have the same characteristics.
Right.
But some leaders are also able to adapt to other people to know you got to treat them the same way. Nobody's ever going to be equal ever,
Yeah, that's
no
true.
matter how hard you fight.
So, I think there's a difference between tough love and and
Abusive,
Abusive.
abusive.
Yes, abusive. Like mentally. It's
Yeah,
like
I get
yeah,
you, yeah.
abusive. Yeah.
or
because I'll take tough love all day, every day, and it won't bring me to the point where I feel like I need to take my life or take the person's
Yeah.
life. But when it's like you can't do nothing right in their eyes, and they will never ever you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's something different. That's something different. It might be some tough love mixed in there, but if it's all just
Yeah.
extremely
But
negative,
you know, it's sometimes that that can pass down. People might think that abusive words or that stuff they're saying to them, they might think that's love. Some people do.
that's
Yeah,
why
that's-
nobody today knows how to love
Yes,
anybody.
some people think it is crazy. Like,
That is when you have to realize the dysfunction in your family.
yes,
That's when you have to realize. Then sometimes you also got to know as yourself. There's some things like I can come to my father about that I can't talk to my mother about.
yeah,
So it's about knowing that person as well.
that's
Who to go to get that loving from. If I know that my dad grew up a certain way and he's not that kind of person, I'm not gonna go to
Yeah.
my dad to look for that certain kind of love and affection. Cause some people just can't give it. Like my
Yeah.
grandma used to say, you can't expect butter from a duck. So, like, you feel me?
Yeah, because even though some people may say, parents may say, "Oh, you can talk to me about anything."
No.
You know they
No,
I
can't.
got
No.
that
You
all
know
the
you
time.
can't.
No.
You know you
I
can't.
love my mama and my pops, but sometimes
you
I just gotta
cannot.
figure some
You know
stuff
you
out on my
can't.
own. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna just do me. Like,
Because it's always gonna be some things you're gonna look crazy in their eyes, or like
what?
or they may look crazy in your eyes.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
That's a deep. That was deep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to get a buzzer for that.
Oh
I
God.
didn't think about that, to be honest.
But think about it like this way, right? As far as going back to knowing how to love someone and loving somebody, think about why relationships don't last long nowadays. How many people really know how to love somebody?
they know how to demand things.
Yeah.
How many women have you came across, and vice versa, when you came across different women at a point in time when you didn't know how to love and they didn't know how to love you?
Oof. I think Yeah, they didn't. It seems like they didn't take the chance or even try.
And vice
Like-
versa, you didn't know how to express how you love that woman either.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna be honest. That goes to perception.
I think.
Everybody has a different perception of what love is and how to love. So
Some
I feel
people
like
think-
that's
But do
what
you
messes
agree it's
up.
a general principle of what love is? At least a general principle.
Like, what do you mean?
Like a general knowing, at least if you do, well, let's say love may be loyalty and sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
That should be kind of a universal thing.
Yeah.
As far as what the definition. Now, ways of expressing how that goes, cool. That could be various ways. But
Loyalty and protection. You said
loyalty and sacrifice.
loyalty and sacrifice. Well, it depends on how you. A lot of what we think is depend on how we grew up and what we saw.
Yeah.
Cause
Exactly. Hmm.
I know, I'm half Caribbean. I know some Caribbean men in my family feel like, as long as I bring home the money, pay the bills, you should have nothing to worry about. I know a lot of dudes like that.
That's
So,
loyal to somebody. That is loyalty.
Yeah, it's loyalty.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
So it's a matter
To
of
sacrifice will be the woman having to stay at home and do work all day.
But I think a lot of problems with these relationships nowadays. I think people love without understanding that person. I think they don't take the time to understand that person.
You know how long it takes to get to know somebody?
Lifetime.
Lifetime, nigga.
A long time. A long time.
That's why I hate when girls like, I want to get to know you first.
like, hey,
Well.
you gonna spend the
Not
rest
enough.
of your life with me?
It's
Like,
not enough time that you think you're trying to spend
yeah.
or they want to spend.
I always thought it was about a good year.
I mean,
Nah.
But you can get a sense of who what I'll do in a certain
Yeah.
situation. You know what I'm saying? If you've been around me but like to get to know me, like to know like, oh, when I'm in this situation, I'm gonna do that.
yeah.
How you gonna react?
But I do like a lot of people I think they just don't want to put in the work no more. I'm gonna be honest. Like with relationships, I think
Why? Why would you now? Especially 21 and with
like
Tinder and
people don't want to put in the work no more. It's like
It's like if they're not
It's
doing the right
funny.
thing, if they're not doing the right thing, nigga.
It's funny. I just caught on to that.
Oh, shit.
man, so you crazy. You said me like screw it. But
But yeah, it takes a while, man. And once you realize how long it takes, and you got to find out who you are in the process as well.
yeah.
Because people can act for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
especially women. They are great at it.
Oh yes,
Ooh.
yes.
Yeah.
They
I'm
know.
not even gonna get
Listen,
into that.
let's
they-
not
For the
get
women out there, I'm undecided in this area. That's them.
Oh, no, don't do that.
I'm chilling. I'm not in a position where I can speak on that.
No, but the only reason I
Guys
say
who
that.
checks his phone.
Right.
No, but the only reason I'm saying that, like the acting, because women know how to put on a great front for a long time, and then as soon as
You
paperwork. Get,
too, man. Come
no, I'm not saying we don't, but
I mean, okay.
They
Like,
know how
the
to
women
play the
people,
field.
niggas trying to hit, man. The niggas trying to hit, man. Leonardo DiCaprio.
okay, all right. Let's roll back then. Okay, people, but especially women, in my opinion, know how to put on the act, know how to put on the act for a long time, especially in relationship land.
Honest, they know how to play the field.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
It's
Girls know how to play the
It's been a
field.
lot of situations where you thought you was playing,
Right.
She was playing right along with you. Like
Yeah,
I'm like,
she
dang,
is.
how'd you know that? She said, cause I'm smart as hell. That's what she said.
But then when contracts get signed or
Oh, yeah.
circumstances change, that's when the real person comes out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For them little 2 months or 3 months y'all talking, oh yeah, lovey dovey. As soon as I get in a relationship, instant change. She's like the devil to you now. Like,
Niggas be going around saying, "I hate this bitch."
oh
Fuck.
god, like, fuck this bitch. Fuck her.
Damn.
And you stuck with her.
Yeah.
As long as you want to be, you ain't gotta be stuck with nobody.
Shit, she get the Heisman. I ain't gonna say the Heisman.
Don't date nobody from school.
Oh hell no.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
that's another topic. Another topic.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's over at that point.
You don't be doing that, do you? You don't be dating for nobody from school.
What, peace?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
I dabbled, nigga.
Oh no, man. What Boogie say?
That was
Don't
a
you
long
end up in
time. That
that
was the
group
old
chat?
me. That was a long time ago.
Nah, I feel that.
2020.
But yeah, man,
He said
we're slowly we're gonna be wrapping up in a second. Y'all got any last Things y'all want to say?
Again,
Thank you. That's
yeah,
all I
thank
got
you,
to say.
bro.
Well, first of all, say why y'all are actually here in the first place. How y'all got here in the first place, anyway.
Take it away, brother.
I gotta take it away.
Yeah,
I
take
was
it
about-
away. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it next. You go.
So we got here because our friend Justin connected us with you, and I'm very extremely grateful for that to have you as a mentor. We want to start our own podcast real soon.
The
later
last
this month.
word.
What's it? Say the name again.
The last word with
Okay.
Miles Carter and Sijade.
Yes.
Okay.
And what is your goals of the podcast and stuff?
I just, to reach, of course, like reach new people. I'm a big, I love mental health. I've dealt with my own mental health issues, and I want people to reach out. I know there's some people that felt like they haven't been heard. I want them to, hey, like you're heard.
Yeah.
The people that haven't been seen, yeah, you're seen. I think especially in these times, I feel like me and him, we can, me and Sijade, we can spread some positivity in this hateful ass world.
Some
But-
understanding too as well.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good idea and a good perspective to hear from, kind of like early college students about how we're feeling and, what our ideas and views are on certain topics. So, yeah, but thank you, man, for
Yeah,
this. I
appreciate it, Dre.
for the start.
You awesome, bro.
So no problem, man. If like I said, if I can, I don't mind helping out people if I'm available and if it's presented opportunity, I don't mind.
For sure.
Just like I said, just reach out.
Oh yeah, man.
And if we cool, we can gonna try to do something.
Yeah, hey
For the
man.
most part.
Absolutely.
We're here for it.
We're just getting the stuff
Yeah, we
together.
just getting started, bro.
So, should have everything done by,
January 31st.
what's the stuff for advertisement, though, next week?
Oh yeah, no, that'll be done. That'll be done by
Yeah.
Wednesday.
And
So
send
we'll
it to
start
you.
sending stuff out Wednesday, and y'all look on the gram for it. Everybody.
Where can they find y'all at?
Well, my Instagram is Millions of Miles. You'll find it on there. And
Mine is Sijade. It's a weird name. Sijade 2019. So that's my Instagram. But we're going to create an Instagram account for the podcast and probably by this weekend. So
yes. So y'all keep checking out my man Dre's show.
All right,
He's
yeah.
the new stuff.
DZN Podcast, man. If y'all
DZN.
wanna find us, y'all gonna follow us on Instagram.
Big
man.
body. They big body.
D.Z.N.podcast on social media on podcast platforms. DZN Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, wherever you get podcasts at, Podbean, and on YouTube, DZN Podcast Network. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me at RETROD.R.E, Zoe at young_Pluto08, and Nas at NV.Z_. And let's close out how we intro with some music. Wait a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Hey.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Wait a second.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Wait a second.
Yep.
Let's do it again in about a second. All right. I think I'm about to switch this. Something else. So hold tight 1 second. This one.
Keith, if you could spit on this, I'll like it. Yeah, I just gotta hear you spit on this.
You want to go first up? Or you want to go?
Oh, you can spit too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me
snap.
spit.
He's the reason I rap.
Here it is.
Hey, Dre,
Listen, it's the DZN Podcast. You know what it is. It's the DZN Podcast. Every Monday, it's the DZN Podcast. Dre's over nines. It's the DZN Podcast. Every Monday, DZN Podcast. Dre's over nines. DZN Podcast. Every Monday, DZN Podcast. Dre's over nines. DZN. Had to take a pause for a second. Now I'm coming back on another fucking record and another verse I beat that I made like this. I'm about to skip over and flow on this. Now it's the time that I get it on the rhymes and then every other Monday the DZN Podcast. Retro Dre spray on the tracks with the lyrics every time the mental boost go.
ready for the rebrand. Hold up for a second, and I'll be right back. I had to do my own censors in Word, because everybody trying to do their own thing now. I got the rain, I hope they bring the spring now. I hope they got their own choices and got their own voices. Yeah, what's about to happen? Young Pluto, Retro Dre, we just rapping. I haven't freestyled in a while, I usually write, so hold up for a second. Let me check the time right now.
Y'all spit on the camera.
Yeah, he's coming back for the end. This is Dre on a podcast named DZN. And you know how we get it from beginning to the end. And we still going every time to the end. You know it's the end. And we going back to beginning. Freestyling, rapping on the beats that I got in there. I better know what I gotta do next. DZN Podcast every Monday with Miles and Sijade. We on the podcast doing that shit for the guests. It's today. It's episode 63, and we going till we about to end this shit until whatever, whenever. We doing it forever, and that until the time that we go. We gon' still do it, impacting everybody that's going through this next every time for the podcast community all around the world. Maybe start in the city and expand to wherever we go. It's worldwide in this DZN podcast. You know how it gets. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Dre on the beat.
Yeah, let's go. All right. Appreciate y'all for listening. The morning, noon, and night. And we out. Peace.
Peace. Thank y'all.